Wow, women helping other women learn, grow, and empower. Learn new things, grow from what you learn. Empower others to do the same. Helping you to create a plan for your life, vision for a better life. Get connected to resources, seminars, trainings, women helping others with the gifts that they have. Contact Crystal Ifakoya, the founder and creator of WOW. Why not? Okay, you guys, we are live. Meeting is now live. Okay, we are live on Facebook, you guys. So if you would share with your friends and send them our way. I want to welcome everybody to Black is Magazine and welcome to Entrepreneurship and Business 2021. You guys, I hope you brought the new year in the right way and with high expectations for your success. So I appreciate everybody being here. Before we get started, I want everyone to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about your business. At the end, we'll give the people a highlight of what you actually are offering them, and we'll go from there. So Tanisha, go ahead and tell the people who you are and what your business and what it's about.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanisha Scott, and I am the CEO of Testimonial Inc. And we are basically we print mostly T-shirts and tumblers and mugs and things like that. That is one of my businesses, and that's the one that I'll be speaking about today. We started in 2013, and we branched out to a number of different businesses we've done business with. We've done business with groups, women's association groups, things like that. And personal, those are always my favorite because I really get to be creative with my customers. So if you want to hook up with us, you can also look at our website. It's at www.testinkstore.com. There you'll find some apparel that's ready to buy. We also, like I said, do custom orders. You can always contact me. The information is there for contacting with custom orders.
All right. Miss Siobhan, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Awesome. My name is Siobhan Robles, and I am an empowerment strategist. So I have a couple of different businesses. I'm a certified mindset coach. So I definitely help people in the area of understanding how their mind stores, retrieves, regurgitates information, hitting new plateaus. But I'm also a financial literacy consultant. So I help people in the areas of credit restoration, every area of financial literacy. But then I'm also I feel like I have so many different things that I do. But I also have a small event company where I help promoters, small businesses and promoters. We actually have an MMA fight that is coming up in February. So if you are in the Tampa Bay area and you have never been to an MMA fight, definitely reach out to me. I would love to get you out to that. But then I also have a virtual call center as well. But you can find all of this stuff on my page. If you just go to my page, I actually have a link that you can click that takes you to all of those various different things.
Thank you. Corey.
I'm Corey Rogers. I'm from Barnesville. Basically, I just sell. I do eyelashes on the side. I actually have a job, full-time job. My thing is just flat fill productions. I move your furniture if you have junk in your yard, whatever. Got my eyelashes.
Yay.
Eyelashes, Marie, I got yours too.
Yes, I need those.
Yeah, I got them. But I sell eyelashes basically just I just try to. I'm here for the ex-cons. I basically try to motivate them. That's my goal. If I can get a legal business hustling and side hustle, whatever going. I mean, they can too. So, and that's what I'm all about.
I like that. Miss Crystal.
Hello, everyone. I am Crystal Ifakoya. I am the founder of the nonprofit WOW, Women Helping Other Women, where we empower women to improve their economic status through education, employment, as well as entrepreneurship. I am also a SCORE mentor where I mentor different people to start their businesses. as well as I have my own business, Boss Encounters, where I do web development as well. It's more not web development, but more like web design, business consulting, helping people to set up their LLCs, their 501c3s, things like that, as well as setting up for their life. So a complete business strategy for not only their business, but for their life. So that is just a little nutshell. Oh, I cannot forget that I also work with a technology company that does web development, Indigo Technology.
Busy. Wear all kind of hats. All
Yes.
kind of hats. Jay, tell us who you are and what you do.
How y'all doing? My name is Jamel Davis. I'm from Kansas City, Kansas. I go by Jay, and I'm the CEO of Self-Made Gear Positive Lifestyle Clothing. And I also have a ladies brand called the Pink Dove Collection. And I started my clothing line so that I can promote peace and then kind of touch everybody in a positive way and try to get everybody to think positive, because there's so much negativity out here. And I want everybody to understand that positivity will overrule as long as we support it. So like I said, I'm from Kansas City, Kansas. Right now I live in Olathe, Kansas. And I'm out here to spread peace and unity through my brands, through my photography. I'm also a photographer, part-time photographer, and I work like everybody else. I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy dad. I'm a family man. I do the whole nine. Try to be positive and try to teach people how to live positive and live life in a positive lane.
This is amazing. I appreciate everyone being here. Of course, you guys know who I am. I am Marva, and I am the CEO and founder of Phases the Next Level. And I am the founder of Black Is Magazine, which is an affiliate of Phases the Next Level. I'm also an author. I co-author a book with my daughter, and it has been published. So wear a lot of hats. Everybody here, I think, is really busy. So I appreciate your time tonight. I just want to dig into entrepreneurship, and I want to dig into business, because whether someone out there is trying to start a business, have started a business, set it to the side, or is already in business, I think each of us here brings something different to the table that we can put out in the atmosphere, that it can impact someone's life positively and for the greater good of their lives and their businesses. And so there's a lot of things that we go through when we try to accomplish these things in creating our businesses. And it's not always an easy ride. And I think people get a little weary whenever things don't go the way they plan. But you have to know that in business, it's not, you want to expect that there's going to be roadblocks. You want to expect that there's people that are not going to show up. You want to expect that when it was supposed to happen at 7, it's not going to happen till tomorrow. It's a lot of different things that are going to take place. And so you have to have that backbone in order to withstand all of that, because on the other side of all of that, you know, it looks really amazing. And God, as long as we're following God in his direction, we'll get to the other side, but we have to have that backbone to stand. So with that said, I want to talk about just that. Some of the experiences that each of you have had in even just starting your businesses. I know for me, just starting the book and getting the book done with my daughter, she started at 9 years old and she just put it down. She was done. She was over it. So I had to wait on her to be ready again, right? And so it was kind of frustrating because I'm ready to roll, but she wasn't. That's part of, it didn't happen like I wanted to happen. But on the other side of that now, the book is completed 2 years later. So Tanisha, let's talk about some of the roadblocks that you've had in your journey in building up your business.
One of my business I didn't mention, but one of them is I do women's retreats. It's called a Girls Talk Retreat. And 2020, my retreat it was year 20 would have been year 3. And I had everything ready. Guests had paid. They were ready to come in, and COVID happened. Devastating to me because I never had to make the decision. This is like a life decision. Do you keep going because it's what you need to do, or do you think about your guests? So there was a lot of tears shed and a lot of prayer, but ultimately, of course, we had to stop and shut down. And the whys will come when you hit that roadblock. The whys will come, but God will always reveal to you why he had to do what he had to do. And I noticed in that roadblock where I had to set everything aside, it still allowed me to get myself together. And then I was able to convert back to my other business, which that's the business I was speaking about on my t-shirts. So in certain seasons, there are certain businesses that I kind of put to the side because I have to focus on another. So it allowed me to kind of reintroduce myself to my other business and say, Girls Talk will happen again, but for this, at this particular moment, I need you to focus on this. So I've really been able to focus more on the t-shirts and possibly doing a rebrand and getting more customers and getting more businesses versus woe is me, I can't have the retreat. So it's definitely a juggling act when you have multiple, because I think the majority of us on here, we have more than just one business. So it's definitely a juggling act, and you have to know what season to operate. When you're in that season, you have to know which season to operate in. So yes, it was definitely a test, but I endured it, and I'm just moving on to whatever God has next.
Amen. That's good. We talk about what season and how we have to endure. And woe is me. That goes back to that. You have to have that backbone and how we have to create our own opportunities. I can relate with you, Tanisha, because I do Rise Queen, and I had a first year and was going to this was going to be the annual thing. And I had it set up like the second one was going to be through the roof. Right. And then all of a sudden COVID. And I was like, I accomplished getting over 100 women in this place. And now I want to get 120. It was happening in COVID. Let's talk about it, Crystal.
Oh, as far as this year, 2020 for me, actually was the best year. And I hate to say that because for so many people, it was horrible. But for me, 2020 was one of the best years I've ever had. I made more money than I've ever made. I made more connections than I ever did. And my relationship with God got better. So it was like money, family, and business all increased. There was a lot of loss, though. I lost the president of my nonprofit. And that was very early. That was right before COVID got into the United States for the most part. So February, the first month, I was hit with my nonprofit because we had a snowstorm. So because of the snowstorm, the place where we normally meet in person was closed. So immediately that morning, I had to go into overdrive and come up with a plan. And we went virtual that morning. Less than 3 hours from the event, we had to plan our first all virtual event. And we pulled it off. And we were virtual the entire year. And that was the first month. And then the second month, my president of my organization, who is also my spiritual mentor, who is also a family member of mine, and I consider them a sister, she passed away. So when she passed away, I lost the support system for my WOW because she was also a financial backer for WOW. So I'm like, okay, this is not starting off like I want. And then my daughter had her baby. So life happens, and we have to be willing to just move with the punches. And it's called transition. You have to be ready for the transition. You have to leverage your business. And no way was I prepared. Who had a contingency plan for COVID? That was just not something we had. That is something that we had to grow with. And we became stronger after we grew with that. And so for me, I think that a lot of businesses, especially in the Black community, it was a great time for us to flourish because now we had time to sit back and think about what we really wanted to see happen in our lives. And that's what the increase, I believe, in Black businesses has been.
Yeah, you know what, Crystal, I like what you said because 2020, it was a rough year, but there was a lot of great things. You have to try to pull out the best things in the worst situations. And so there were some really good things that happened. So don't feel sorry for that. God said, sometimes he takes us to a place where we just need to sit down and listen to him and get direction from him because we're going in so many different places. All of us wear how many different hats? And he was like, hey, sit down. I need to tell you what to do next. You're not, you're not listening. And so it's good that when even in the storm, we can pull out the good things. And I've talked to other business people and they said, yeah, it's been horrible, but this is what happened with my business. It grew. What it did for me is it taught me how to utilize the internet more, how to utilize my social media more, and how to be more creative that way, because the truth be told, that's kind of the way of life right now. And so if you want to do business, you got to know that you got to figure it out and stay on top of things, as time progresses, because even though we don't like change, we are kind of creatures of habit. We don't like change, but if we're not forever changing, then we're not keeping up. So I like what you said, Crystal. So I want to talk to Jay and Corey because I know their stories. So I'm going to start with Corey, if that's okay, Jay. Corey, we talk about, I like the fact that you stand and you're the face of the people that are incarcerated, that have been incarcerated, because so many times whenever they come out, the reason that a lot of people go back into incarceration is because they've been told, no, try to get a job. No, you got a felony. Try to do this. No, because of a felony. And I have to say that I'm on board with you. I've been there and I was sitting in a job and they tapped me on my shoulder and said, gotta go, and that's all. I could have very well said, I'm done. I'm going back to what I was doing, what I know I can do to make it. But God said, God had something better. That job wasn't for me. So talk about that, Corey, when you standing in and you go through the things because you have a felony in your background. And now what do I do? That's that creative piece, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's gotten better over the years. Like in the early 90s, it was real tough, and I mean, I straight up failed. You know what I'm saying? I went back to, and it landed a lengthy incarceration. But like, when I was incarcerated, I just, I kept my mind positive. I read positive things. So, you reap what you sow. When I got out, I was kind of, I took the low paying job, just to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, you gotta, if the dude's incarcerated, you gotta try to figure out what you're good at in there while you're incarcerated. And you gotta, try to get your resources and everything lined up before you come out, because they got access to the internet also. So you got to try to do that and just do what you love. I like the hustle. I like to sell stuff. I like to, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? What I like to do.
Yeah.
Houses, whatever. They gotta just stay positive.
Yeah, I like that. You have to stay positive, and you're right. You have to figure out that's what growing your own business or creating your own business is about. Finding what you love to do, that burning desire in you, that even when people say, that's not going to work, you're saying, yes, it will.
Yeah,
and even if you're lonely out here and saying, it's just me, nobody supported right now, but I'm going to keep going. You have to have that kind of commitment in your business. So if you do have a felony and you're struggling with how to create a business, or how do I even get creative? How do I find what I'm good at? My thing is always, I follow God first. So I'm going to tap into my higher power. And I'm going to listen to what it is, and let him direct me. And whatever that is, I'm going for it. So that's good that you're here, Corey, because people need to hear that. It's a lot more people than you think with felonies that's just in a rut right now, don't know which way to go. So kudos to you for that. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So Siobhan, we're coming. Jay, kind of, we know the story. So let's talk about your struggle and how you overcame, because Self-Made Gear is pretty savvy right now, So what did you do? Because you had dealt with, going to jail and getting in some trouble as well. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said in the previous interview, I got caught in some trouble. I was raised in a bad situation. I had a good household, but the atmosphere and environment wasn't too good. But it was one of them things, you either step out there and do it or you don't. And I was always raised around people. I was raised around a lot of people that went out there and done the bad things. And I was the younger guy. I wanted to go see. I was curious. That's my whole motto. That's my question mark in my logo, just being curious. So everything I see and I don't understand, I question. I want to go figure it out. I want to see how it works. Why does it work? Why do we need it? Why is it a thing? Why is it so important? So It's like I'm like he was saying, I've been caught in a lot of bad situations in the past, but that's what pushed me and motivate me to do the right things. And like I said, I've been on track for so long now, and it's so normal. It's natural. and I run into a lot of people that's from the past, and then every time I run into them, I try to inspire them, follow me, so that you can see that I'm a totally different guy. I'm a totally different person. My heart pumps totally different. I mean, I've never been a bad guy, just a bad guy, but I was just caught in a lot of moments. And then, you caught in the moments without using my motto, which is TFR2, think first, react second, you'll get caught. You'll find yourself in a lot of trouble just by reacting on impulse. And I've made a lot of bad decisions on impulse. And I'm glad that I didn't. I'm still here to talk about it, and I'm still here. And I'm now that I can spread my word through unity and peace, through my brand, through my clothing lines. And hey, everybody keep doing what y'all doing. Just keep doing what y'all doing and stay positive. No matter what y'all do, no matter how much support you receive, no matter how much the lack of support you receive, don't give up, stay positive, and everything will pan out.
Right. A lot of, you said, I'm not a bad guy, I never was. I don't think that, I think it's bad decisions that we make. It's not necessarily that you're a bad person. We just made some really bad decisions that we had to learn from. And it's like, also like Corey said, whatever you put out, whatever you put in, that's what you're going to get out. So you got to put out that good stuff in the atmosphere and it'll come back to you good. But don't give up. Don't say, oh, I can't do it and go back to your old ways. So that's a part of business. You have to think positive. Okay, yeah, it didn't work. Use your mind. Okay, that didn't work. Who can I call to help me and answer this question? Maybe this works. Hey, I failed at this, but failure is always a learning mechanism. We always learn from our mistakes, and learning is great. We got to learn. We're going to learn forever until we're not here. So we have a bit of the East Coast here with us. We got the Midwest with us. I wish we had somebody from the West Coast. It'll happen again. So Siobhan is out on the West Coast in Florida, a native of Bartlesville, Oklahoma, doing great things. But it was not an easy road, Siobhan, to get where you are today and the level of success that you are. Let's talk about some of your downfalls.
Oh, there's been a lot of them. I think that's a part of success, though. I think that's a big part of it. I think the biggest thing for me to understand was the difference between being a business owner and an entrepreneur. A lot of times when you're a business owner, people can buy a franchise or you walk into something that's already established and you just get that thing going. It's like a job title, where an entrepreneur is more of a mindset. It's a mindset. And being an entrepreneur means when everything hits the fan, you don't have something to fall back on. You don't have these things in place to carry you through. You can't take a leave of absence and still receive a check. That's not how that works when you're an entrepreneur. So your mindset has to be different. And one of the things that I heard everyone talk about is just having that mentality of, I like to call it like having that hustle in you, having that drive in you, having that desire in you where you are never going to give up. And that's what it is. And I know in this day and age that we live in, saying that you're an entrepreneur sounds sexy, but it is not. So being an entrepreneur means you lose friends. That means you fail more than you succeed. Like, it sounds sexy because you see people driving these Rangers and you see them in their Lamborghinis and you see them in these houses that overlook the ocean, and you're like, oh, I'm be an entrepreneur because I want to do that. But nobody tells you about the times when you sitting in your closet crying because you like, how am I even going to pay the rent to stay where I am right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one talks about that. And so we love people we love where they are, but we don't understand the journey it takes to get there. And so a lot of times, and something that I heard a lot of other people say is like, what is your why? You have to have a reason deeper than you. You have to have a source bigger than you in order to maintain, because I feel like that's what COVID did for a lot of people. COVID opened up your eyes to really see, like, okay, so you say you're a business owner, let's see how that works out. Oh, you say you an entrepreneur, okay, let's see. You think you hustling, let's see how much hustle you really have in you. Let's see how much drive you really have in you. Let's see if you still have some gas and some go in you when everybody's telling you no, when everything seems to be failing, when you're not getting no stimulus checks and you ain't getting these grants that everybody else talking about. Like, everybody else talking about, I got a $50,000 grant. I'm like, Jesus, I didn't get $1 from the government. government. So I don't know how that worked out for y'all, but I didn't have that contingency plan to fall back on. So then it was, okay, God, I'm going to get somewhere and be still and hear what you're saying, because I don't want to make decisions based on my emotions. I want to make decisions based on your will and where you told me to go. So even when it looks like everything is failing and everybody's telling me to give up and everybody's telling me to do this, God, I know what you told me. I know what you showed me. I know that everything is going to be okay. Like, it really, I feel like that's what 2020 did. It caused people to take a look at themselves and really figure out, is this really what you think you want? Because I have people that tell me all the time that they want to be an entrepreneur. And I'm not going to lie to you, like, I discourage them as much as possible. The reason I do that is if I can talk to you for 10 minutes and I can get you to rethink being an entrepreneur, you aren't going to make it anyway. I actually did you a favor, and I saved you money, and I saved you time, and I saved you energy, and I saved you effort. Let me help you, let me help you with that. But if someone can talk you out of it, if the thought of defeat makes you really want to turn and look the other way, then you don't have it in you anyway. Like, you really don't have it in you anyway. So that's one of the things that even, individuals that I come across, friends that I have here, that, how do I want to say that, were entrepreneurs in their early days in the world of pharmaceutical sales. Entrepreneurship is something that they can do, and I encourage it. You just have to figure out what your purpose is, and then you figure out a way to make money based on that. That's all that is. Like, figure out what your purpose is and make money based on that. Because you can make money in anything. You like to steal cars, maybe you need to be a repo man.
Hey,
it's all about creativity. Right. No one says you have to do the traditional thing, because college ain't for everyone.
That's it.
Ain't for everyone. And 9 to 5 ain't for everyone. It just really, really isn't. And so you have to figure out what works for you. Sit down with yourself long enough to figure out, okay, this is what I know that I'm good at. This is what I know my skill set is. And let's figure out how to make money. That's what I do as a mindset coach. You don't know where to start? Talk to me. I can help you. I know how to pull skills and gifts out of people. That's just something that I'm able to see when I talk to people, and I can figure out, this is a skill, this is a gift, this is something that you can monetize, this is something that you can do that's going to get you where you need to be. But it's one of those, I know I kind of went off. But I'm telling you, like,
it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Lee, I don't know where to start, but I do like that. I wanted to talk about you said so much and I meant it. So I want to talk about it all, but I wanted to bring all of us here, us particular, this panel right here, because I wanted to peel back the ugly stuff that happens in entrepreneurship, right? You're right, Siobhan, it's never talked about. It's always encouraged. Always consider working for yourself. Don't consider being an employee forever. Work for yourself, But I love your strategy in that I'm going to tell you not to do it and see where your mind really is, if you're really fit for entrepreneurship, because no, you might not have the resources to do it right now. And then you're going to crush and you might not have what you need to even get started. And now I just give up. None of us here are quitters, and so we need to peel back that ugliness for people on Facebook and out there watching us and say, look at us. Like, I'm gonna talk for me. I didn't come from a wealthy family. I came from a family that we made it. My parents, we made it by. They made sure we ate, we had clothes, and we had a roof over our head. The things that we wanted, sometimes we had to suffer and say, no, you don't get that. So it's that drive. And no, my parents didn't teach me, go be an entrepreneurship, go to college and they wanted me to go to college, but go get your master's degree, go do this stuff. If you're writing plays, go to a black college or somewhere where they're going to notice your talent. They didn't tell me that because they didn't know. Right? I had to fight for this. I had to get out and get something for myself. So I'm going to take a minute and talk to the people on Facebook. If anybody wants to chime in with us on Facebook, I can bring you in on camera with us. And we would love to hear from other business owners that are out there as well. So let's continue to peel back what is really real about business. Crystal, I want to talk to you for a minute about nonprofit, because Faces the Next Level is not a nonprofit. And so I want to talk about that because people are, you hear a lot of people say, oh, I want to open a nonprofit. I want to have a nonprofit. That is a lot of work behind a nonprofit. And I want you just to kind of share with the people out there what it took and what you went through for that.
Well, I will say that we are a nonprofit and we do not make profit. We are 100% volunteer basis. This is the true essence of a nonprofit. But when people see nonprofit, they see Salvation Armies, they see the Goodwills, they see the big, huge United Way. That's what they see when they see nonprofit. And what they don't realize that even though it's considered a nonprofit, I'm about to blow your mind when I tell you, did you know that the NFL was a nonprofit? Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't know. Not NFL is a nonprofit. And why is because they do not make profit. They pay the people that work for them. And they pay them well. So there's an association, and then there's the NFL. The NFL was created to be a league of people that were helping people to be more active. So a lot of people get misconstrued about what a nonprofit is in the first place. Well, I have recently come into the knowledge of, and it's not even recent, I've been knowing, but it just dawned on me that even in a nonprofit, you need to be able to make a profit. How are you going to pay your staff? How are you going to be able to pay the people that help you with the business? So when you think of Goodwill, they get free items and they sell that. That becomes their profit. Then they take that profit and they give it back to the people that work for them. They give it back to the community. They donate half of the clothes that they get to other organizations. So it's more than just being a nonprofit. You have to make profit in order to make it, but you're not profiting off of it. Meaning, at the end of the year, everything that you bring in has to go right back out the door. You're not saving it up. It isn't all going to one person. It isn't a part of one person's plan. It is reshared out to everybody. So when you think of a nonprofit going forward, think of it as, okay, I'm getting a tax write-off to do something good for my community. So regardless if you open a working business or a nonprofit, both of them, you have to have a business plan. The business plan for a nonprofit is considered bylaws. And in those bylaws or articles of incorporation. So you still have to be able to show how you plan on making money. So a lot of people come through me and they're like, I want to start a nonprofit. And this is even for my own organization. Well, for years I ran it by myself. I'm just now getting a staff of volunteers so that we can even qualify for some of this stuff. So there's a level of, you got to have enough people working with you. By minimum, you need 5 people, which is your CEO, your president, your vice president, your secretary, your treasurer. You need your bylaws, and you need your, you will file in your state for the Secretary of State. You're going to file for your trade name. I'm telling you this is free knowledge. Don't pay nobody. You can go out there and get you a nonprofit tomorrow for $275 if you choose to. You don't have to pay $1,000 or $2,000 or pay a lawyer. I went and I filed it myself. It's the 1023 EZ form if you plan on making less than $50,000 the first year. Guess what? 9 times out of 10, you don't have $50,000 lined up. So you're going to be making less than $50,000 that first year. I don't know nobody that went in the game to get a nonprofit and made more than $50,000 their first year. That's a lot of money, unless you already have someone to back you. And then they're going to pay for your nonprofit, and it's going to be professional anyway. So you're not going to be trying to piece this together yourself. But once you have everything you need, you put that stuff together, you work with people, and then do right by the money that you get. That's the other big thing. There's organizations, not just nonprofits. A church is a nonprofit, but they get the funds and then they misappropriate it. Or They think they get it and they say they're going to use it for this, and they end up shortchanging or getting a discount, and then they got this extra money that's supposed to go back to the government. And if you don't, then I mean, so you get caught in a catch-22 if you don't do it right. But if you do it correctly, you can have your nonprofit up and running in less than 60 days. It literally takes less than 3 weeks to get that back once you have all your documentation. So that's my little
good.
piece on nonprofit.
So that was good. Yeah, yes, that was good. That was good. Yeah. This is exactly why we're here, because we want people to know the back, you know, what goes on in the background, because people say you got to hire a lawyer, you got to spend this money on that, you got to do this again, and that discourages people. There's a lot of stuff that we can do on our own in order to, and we can be just as successful as the next person. Yeah. I want to talk about, so a backup plan. Whenever you're like for COVID, right? I didn't have a backup plan. I'm just going to tell y'all right now. We said it before. I have a backup plan. So Corey, now that you said that, I didn't have a backup plan. And I promise y'all, I was like, no Rise Queen, no public speaking, no conferences, nothing for me. And God said, didn't you say you came to talk to me and that you was going to follow my lead? And I had to, you know, that was a little pity party I had for a little bit. And then I was like, okay, I can't stop. Corey, what did you go through? Like COVID came, you was all in. What happened?
Yeah. I was working. I was a supervisor at a job. You know, I was just kind of working, and you know, COVID hit. So it was like, man, and I was an independent contractor, so like they didn't want to give me, they didn't give me what they really should have gave me. So it was like, man. So it was like, you know, I couldn't, you know, a lot of my stuff I sell is like eyebrows, it's hand-to-hand contact, you know, so I couldn't do that no more. So, you know, I had to get in the mail, you know, I had to do my shipping and, you know, and start all that. You had to improvise, you know, I had to lay down and meditate on it and pray about it, of course, you know, and get guidance.
Right, and figure out what's next. Okay, now, because everything is hand to hand, they shut all that down. How am I going to get my things? How am I going to go sell my things, right?
Then a lot of stuff I was ordering in the mail was like, you know, I ordered a lot of stuff in the mail, so it was taking like almost like 3 months sometimes. So it was like, cut that down. So it was like, man.
I'm telling you, you gotta, stuff, man. Yeah, you gotta have the mindset to say, oh God, you know, to even deal with that. Like that was my livelihood. Now what do I do? Tanisha, what about you? You know, you do t-shirts, you did mail outs, you were doing other things in your conference, and they shut down the thing just like they did. But you said, you know, you kind of maneuvered through that, you know, but you didn't have a backup plan. Do you advise people that while you have this, you should always have something in your pocket to be working on as well? You don't just stop at this. You're on mute. You gotta unmute yourself.
I literally built my website. I went and was like, okay, you know what? Since I can't go to people, I'm just going to have to figure out a way to get my products to them without having to be face to face. So I started doing research, and I went in and I was like, I can do this. And I built me a website to begin e-commerce. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, some people don't have that drive. I mean, I'm one of those people, it's like, you push me down, I'm coming back stronger.
Yeah.
I had a lot of health issues in between, and I'm talking debilitating health issues. And still yet I was like, I'm gonna win, you know? So I'm a private person, but yet I try and be transparent.
Yeah.
So the ones that I felt needed to know what I was going through, they knew it. But I also wanted to make people aware that just because you're going through, it's a process. Life is a process.
Man.
And as I was going through the same health issues, I mean, I was having to cancel events that I was supposed to be a part of, and it wasn't even due to COVID. It was because of my health, but I still had the endurance. I believe I am placed here to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I believe that, I'm going to keep going in spite of when I have troubles. So I didn't have a backup plan, but I went to my source and he said, do this. Because I'm telling you, this girl is not technical savvy. I am not. I'll hire somebody in a minute. How much is it going to cost?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
But it was something about taking the time to say, you know what, you can do this. You know, this is not the end. And I think if we when we're in a state of panic or what am I going to do, for months, this was even before COVID started, I kept getting the word, be still and know. Be still and know. And I kept going back to that. Every time I would hit a wall, I had to go back to be still. Be still. And then I was shown that the be still wasn't just for Tanisha.
Yeah.
It was for a lot of us. And I think as we were in that moment of being still, God is able to rewire some things. You know, and show you really what you're made of. Like Siobhan says, she can look at a person and she can pull gifts out. That be still, that's God saying, I got your gifts lined up, but I'm going to have to pull them out of you. But you just have to be still and know.
That's right.
So my backup plan was my endurance. I'm not going to quit, you know. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to fail. It may not look the way I wanted it to look, but I didn't fail.
Right.
You know.
You know what? It's a part of, do y'all believe that belief and unbelief can reside in the same category together?
Absolutely.
But here's the deal. You have to speak to that unbelief that
Right.
you will not take control over what I have going on because I believe that I can do this. And God gave us all gifts. I don't care who you are. He gave us all gifts. It's a matter of you building that relationship with him, knowing when it's him speaking to you, because we can do some things that he didn't bless. He didn't tell us to do that. He did not tell us to do that. So we have to know that it's him speaking to us, and we have to constantly speak to that unbelief. Jay, we talked about in our previous interview that I had with you, how your support is not even in Kansas City for the most part. It's spread out across the US and abroad possibly. Let's talk about support. And let's talk about how you endured that, because I remember you saying, or we talked about how people we think that should support us, they're not there. And matter of fact, it gets a little lonely because it's just us that believe in it.
Right. Yeah, the whole support thing, when I first started, I was all excited, pumped up. Everybody was like, yeah, go, go, go. And then you always had the doubters. So I was like, when I had the doubters, it just made me want to say, are they really out to support me, or are they just kind of against me because I'm trying to do something positive? So when I had all the doubters, it just made me more hungry. I mean, it's like getting the ball in fourth quarter and they saying you ain't gonna score. I'm like, I'm running. I'm running. It just make me want to really hustle even harder. And when the COVID hit, it affected me, but it was like I already had a website, I already had things like that, but it kind of affected me in a way because a lot of my supporters, they couldn't financially afford it. So it's kind of like I always made adjustments. Like I said, I'm the CEO. I'm the only person in my brand. I'm trying to network and get some more things going, but it just made it like a little tighter. I had to tighten down. I had to design more. I had to get more creative. I had to think of other ways to reach out to people, to support people, because in the summer when the weather's nice before COVID, I was always out in the public. Like I put on events, I put on collaboration shows where I bring all the artists in Kansas City, from country to rap to R&B to whatever we can get to get a variety of people in the same room and on the same platform to come together and enjoy ourselves without violence. And that was one of the biggest things. And I can't wait till this to be over so I can do the next collaboration show.
Right.
And we do it
here.
Oh yeah, I know. I can't wait to get there. I cannot wait. That'll be so fun. I love to travel and spread my message and get my word out so that I can help everybody any way, shape, or form. Because it's a lot, like I said, it's a lot of kids, and it's sad because a lot of teenagers are actually becoming the the bigger tough guys and tough girls. And then it's weird because when I was younger, girls wasn't as tough. I mean, if they was, I was too young to see. But now you got to be careful. I mean, now it's like they're trying to get in the wrong lane just because. And I'm like, if I can reach out and grab somebody's attention, everybody that I can come in contact with, that's what I'm pushing for. And
Yeah.
COVID just kind of slowed it down, and it slowed it down to be outside in public, to actually move around and be face to face with people. But it just made me sharpen up my social media game, because I'm like, I need to really start going live. I need to really start tapping in and then reaching out to a lot of people. But like I've told you in a previous interview, it's so hard to get people to pay attention to positive things. Supporting positive things is so hard. But it's like you said, it's a lot of times, and I used to be like, man, I'm done with this. I'm getting frustrated. But like you said, when I had that accident and everything, it just sat me down and made me sit here and realize social media is going to make it easier, because now, like right now, we all communicating from, like you said, different parts of the world. And here we are. Previously, if we wasn't social media savvy, we all would be trying to call and record and do everything else. And that just made me get more sharper on it. And then it's giving me more time to design, come up with more ideas and more ways to reach out to people, and then come out with I have a lot of new stuff, but it's just trying to find a facility and a platform to where I can actually host everything that I want to do. And I'm working on that, even if I got to figure out a way to get my own. That's the whole purpose, the whole movement. But until then, I'm trying to get me a platform here in Kansas City to start, so that I can actually network, bring people together on a monthly basis, at least once a month, from kids all the way to grandparents. Even though they're grandparents, don't mean they always positive. They ain't always positive and right either. So here it is. I'm trying to help spread the positivity in any way, shape, or form. And COVID just really made me focus and then have a way to kind of network on social media.
Yeah, you are right about positive things do not sell. Positive, you can't even get them to follow you on your social media, which is why we all need each other. Like our live tonight should be booming because people know this, right? Yeah. But because this is what we're talking about now. If we were talking about gossiping and in people's business and starting stuff, we wouldn't be able to stop people from getting here. They break the internet.
This would be a new reality show.
But I look at it like this. If we get it slow, we'll maintain it, we'll retain it, and it'll fit. If we get it slow, then we'll maintain it, and it's for the greater good of others. So I choose to have 5 people on my live, or 1 or none, if I'm talking about something that's good for people and good for their well-being. So I want to talk, and anybody can answer this, because we might have all experienced it, and we'll wrap up here in a little bit. But what about people won't pay you for your service, right? But they'll go into the other big stores or whatever and spend their whole paycheck. And I feel like our services and the things that we offer are just as good as you going to buy, say for instance, Crystal, for everything that you do, they'll rather go to somewhere because they're in this pretty building and they've been doing it all this, when you can offer them that and more. And they don't want to pay you for what you're worth. Like, we're not trying to break the bank. We're just saying, support us a little bit, and we'll help you just like the next person could help you. What about when they don't want to pay, or they want to give you to give it to them? But how do we survive if you don't pay us?
I just want to hit on this because you just said something and that hit home. I've been doing logos for the last 4 or 5 years, and I have a good friend of mine that, just went into a certain business field, and she started her business. I feel like I was instrumental in that. And she told me that she spent $700 on a logo. And I'm like, you spent what? And I do logos, and I would have gave you a discount because you're a friend of mine. And I'm looking at the logo like, you spent $700 on that? What? So it made me think, first off, Do you value me? Do you listen to me? Because I've been saying the same thing for 4 years. Or is it that you don't see my value?
Yeah.
You would prefer to go support someone because you heard that they're good versus knowing I'm going to work with you. I'm going to be here by your side. Or maybe a lot of times some people don't deal with us because they're afraid if we don't give them the service that they want, then we're going to lose them as a friend. Instead of them encouraging us, giving us, criticism, working with us so that we can become better. I feel that that is very important, especially nowadays in our own community, to give a little grace because we've all been at the beginning of a business and we all have the potential to be great, but we can't be great if we can't practice makes perfect. But I've made several logos and that made me question how much I'm charging completely. So I increased my prices.
Absolutely, absolutely, because we're almost like you're robbing yourself if you don't. The big companies didn't get where they were because they got it right the first time, right? And then you can't come into this and ask me to be a service to you and bring your friendship and let's be friends. This is a business.
Yes.
So let's do business and keep that separated from our friendship. I'm okay with you saying, you know what, that didn't work for me. I didn't like it. Can you do it this way? I won't know if you don't tell me. I don't want to not be your friend. I want you to tell me honestly what you think about it, because that's what I'm putting out, because I want to be great. I want anything that I do and how I serve people, I want it to be my best. I want it to give my best. And if it's not up to your standards, tell me so I can fix it. Instead of going to, because, well, they said if you go over here but I would have did it better or just as good. And you wouldn't have had to pay that much. Trust me. You say you trust me. You say you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do you wrong.
Right.
What do you say about that, Siobhan? Or Tanisha, whoever wants to take it next?
I think I really have to separate business and friendship and family.
Yes.
And what I do is I tell you, I'm very transparent. So when someone comes to me for, say, for instance, they have a t-shirt order, you're going to pay me before I even start the business. You cannot walk into Walmart and get your bread and walk out without paying. So I started that from jump. I mean, if it's one t-shirt, I need it in full. If it's a certain amount, I need half. I'm going to invoice you. Once you pay, I begin production. I also tell them, if they're going to get a refund, I tell you if it's non-refundable. I'm very transparent. And you'll find that the people that do not want to adhere to what you're offering, they're probably not your customer anyway. So instead of us being upset that my best friend didn't support me, she was not for your business. And we have to learn that being entrepreneurs, you have to have tough skin. My mother doesn't buy t-shirts for me, but does that stop me from doing my business? Absolutely not. We have to be able to differentiate business and pleasure, if that makes sense, and not take it so personal.
That's right.
But Chris, that would have got me too if one of my friends spent that much and I could, whoa, yeah, that's tough. But yeah. I think I'm just saying, I think what has worked for me, and do I have people lined up for my business? No, I do not. However, the clients that I have are on repeat and they have large quantities. When they need me, it's large quantities. So I make the money, but I'm not like hounding them to pay me. They know my work. They know that I do good work, so they don't have a problem paying me. Right. So just know when you have that person that's questioning, well, I don't know, and can I do this? Have your rules. I'll tell people, if you want to bring me a t-shirt to work for you, I'm not responsible for how it turns out. It's not the product I may use. So you just have to be upfront with them and let them know what you expect of them, because remember, this is your business.
Right.
And if they don't want to do business, that's fine. I'm sorry, we just didn't work out. And you be professional with it. You don't backlash them. You don't talk about they went to your opponent or whatever the case may be. Because I always tell people, my gifts are my gifts. If I find someone that does work that I don't do, I will refer you. You know what? I don't do that type of t-shirt. However, I can send you to, and I'm okay with that. Because I know my blessings will continue to come. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm not going to bash your line. it's not necessary. So I just think being transparent and upfront, you weed out the bad people. I mean, if that makes sense. You weed out the people that aren't gonna.
Makes a lot of sense. I think that you will get a lot more respect being transparent than not, because for me, if I want to do business with you, then I want to know what your business is about. How does this work, so that I'm not surprised when something happens that we didn't talk about. So
Right.
I think that the only way that you're going to be successful is to be transparent. I love my family and my friends, but I can't give it to you because I can't do that. And I think that I'm like Jay, a lot of my support is outside of my state, way in the East Coast and out of the country, right? But I'd rather do that if what I'm doing is it's gonna make you not want to be my friend because I can't give it to you, right? I want to keep my friendship, but I got to do my business. I can't have a business if I'm not being transparent and running the business like I need to run my business. Anybody else want to touch on that? Jay, Corey?
I want to chime in real quick. I think I love what was just said about being transparent, but I think it's also standing confident in what your prices are. And I'm gonna say this from two different perspectives. For one, I love to negotiate. I'm a negotiator by nature. And so when people come to me, you already know when they want to negotiate. A lot of times when people know you, when they are familiar with you, or they are the same color as you, they feel like you owe them a discount. No, sweetie, it costs what it costs and you're going to pay what it costs. Because whether it's me or someone down the street, you'll go down the street and you'll pay them full price and you won't even blink an eye about it. But because you feel that there's a sense of familiarity with me, then you feel like you don't owe me, or you don't feel like you should have to pay as much. But then you have to stand firm in that. When someone's asking what your prices are, boldly tell them what your prices are. And if y'all got to sit there, I've learned to become very comfortable in uncomfortable situations. So we're going to sit here and look at each other in silence. We're going to sit here and look at each other in silence until you tell me either you're going to purchase it or you're not. Because what I'm not going to do is offer you a discount when you're not going to get a discount down the street. So, I mean, we can do that. But I think that's a part of what it is also. But then also knowing that being a Black business does not mean less than. It does not mean less quality. It does not mean cheaper. It does not mean you get a bigger deal. That's not what those things are. But then we have to make sure that we are representing our business with that type of mindset as well. So if I tell you that I'm going to open up my business at 9 a.m., then I need to be open at 9 a.m. and not 9:10 on Tuesday and 9:05 on Wednesday and 10:10 on Thursday.
Consistency.
Down the road. So it's one of those things as well. Making sure that you have that customer service for people. And I get that. And I know that people always say, oh, Black businesses have the worst customer service. Okay, but so do a lot of mainstream chains too. And you keep going. That ain't stopped you from going to McDonald's. That ain't stopped you from going to Wendy's. That ain't stopped you from going to Starbucks. That ain't stopped you from going to none of those other places.
So true.
So it's one of those things for me, I know the value and the quality that I bring whenever I do things in my business, and I stand firm on that. I actually had someone that reached out to me. This is funny because today, a person who is the same hue as me that initially started out with, sis, I really want you to help me out with something, but can you help me out? What can you do? Now this, and I'm like, now I done seen you posting all COVID pictures, living your best life in every state you in, and you ain't batted an eye on that, but you want to call me and ask me for a discount versus someone else who knows my work and started out by saying, Siobhan, I know we've done business before, and I know the quality of your work and I know your work ethic. Before we even get started, I already want to pay you more. Now I'm just like, so why can't we all start out our conversations that way? You know what I mean? But I think when it comes to people not wanting to pay you, and that's okay, because I also am of the agreement that when God brings you to something, he's already attached people to that thing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So if this person, and what happens to us is we tend to get our feelings hurt when those people who are closest to us don't support us. And it's okay because they're not going to. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect them all to do that. And so we have to look at it as, when you, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, us being cool has nothing to do with business. So I'm not going to be offended by that. My feelings may be hurt, and I may need to go in the closet and have a little talk with myself for a couple of minutes or a couple of days to get over that. But then at the end of the day, I have to realize that I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I mean? Because I've even had people that have used other people and came back to me months later, years later, and they spent hundreds of dollars and they spent thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And inside you want to be like, see, now I told you, if you would have just came, but you can't do all that.
That's right.
You want to be like, see, now if you would have just came to me in the first place, none of this would have been a problem. But you said, you know what? Okay, so what didn't work for you? Let's talk about what we need to do and let's follow through with that. So it's just, yeah, I just feel like a lot of it has to do with your composure of how you present your business to people. And if people are not willing to pay your prices, it's okay. You have to be willing to walk away.
That's right. I talked to another business owner. He's out in Oklahoma too. And he was saying that don't count those people out that won't support you, that won't spend with you, because it's going to be, like you said, I think it's God attaches the people to that already, because then what his experience is that they told him, no, nah, that wouldn't be me. That's not for me. But one of this person's friends or acquaintances purchased with him, shared the product, and they came back with him and the dude that said he wasn't, and brought some more people along with him that said no. So he's like, don't be mad at them and don't discount them and don't count them out, because they're just not interested right now. Right now. So just because they don't want to pay what you're worth, you can't feel bad and you can't say, oh, I'm sorry. No, this is business, because I can't walk in my job at my corporation from 9 to 5 and say, expect them to give me a pity party about a product or whatever that I want. No, this is what they have set. Go to the gas station. That's what the price costs. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the gas or you're not. And so we have to be like that. But we have to be in a respectable manner, and we have to carry ourselves as business people. We say that we are CEOs and the founders of this and that. I take that literally. I own Phases the Next Level. I am the CEO of that. I am the founder of Black Is Magazine. That's who I am, but I represent it well. I try my best to represent that well. So it's not a game to me. Right. And that's how big corporations are. Corey, you sell eyelashes. A ton of women wear eyelashes. Why wouldn't you access what Corey has for you if you're, instead of, I don't want to say not go into those other places, but because he's charging this amount, you just run over here and not support him when he could probably do you even better. That's just an example I'm using, right? That we have to try to be able to we want people to have that same respect for us as they do the big corporations. So we're going to wrap this up here. I want to take this time. I said 8:30, so we have a few minutes, but I wanted to take this time for each of you all, for each of us, to present what we are offering or what we have coming, and what your prices are. How do we contact you? What is your website? I want you guys to make that very clear, even if we go a little bit over 8:30, because I want to also, for you guys on here, for you guys to take the time to start following each one of us on here, on at least let's start here with each other. If you're not following me or you're not following Crystal, you're just meeting, take the time to go support these in us. If we start here, right? And out on Facebook, and people that are watching us, you guys just follow us. We might have what you need. Even a conversation that Crystal or Siobhan can give you, even if it's a t-shirt and you have a family reunion coming up, Tanisha probably can give it to you, get that to you, good quality work, and for the price you're looking for. Jay has websites for women and men. Go check. Let's support our brothers and sisters. So that's enough of me. I'll tell mine last. So I want to, how mine is set up on my laptop is Jay, then Siobhan, Crystal, Tanisha, and then Corey. We'll go in that order, if that's okay, just to kind of keep it going. So Jay, your website, what you have available, how they can reach you, all that.
Okay, my website is selfmadegearkc.com. Right now, I have some.
Oh, can you go just a little bit slower when you give the website, just so people?
Okay. My website is selfmadegearkc.com, and right now, and I do a lot of promo. So right now, I have the Stop COVID cherry red hoodies available, and also I have some ladies Pink Dove collection hoodies that I'm working on. So I got a lot of new items that's coming into the new year. So I don't like I said, I don't have a storefront or anything. I'm only on online. So everything I do, I promote. So I try to do limited edition things like that. So I don't just sit around with a whole lot of stock. So once I create a design, I put it out so I can do a limited edition so somebody can have their own, be one of a kind. So it won't be everybody running around with the same thing on. And I do that for both brands. And then my other brand also, I do the ladies, the modeling. I do if y'all in the Kansas City area and y'all want to collab or do any kind of modeling, y'all can find me on Instagram as Self-Made Gear. Y'all can find my ladies brand, the Pink Dove Collection, on Instagram also. You can also find Self-Made Gear on Facebook. You can also find the Pink Dove Collection on Facebook. And my personal page is just Jay Davis on Facebook. So if y'all want to reach out to me, like I said, the website is selfmadegearkc.com. And then if y'all just want to reach out to me, it's an e-contact email on there. And you can also email me at Jermel Davis, JermelDavis @yahoo.com. And also my business email is smgjd@yahoo.com. And feel free to reach out to me. So if y'all have any events, anything going on, I would love to promote. I love to share. I love to do anything I can do to help any one of you guys. So, and then like I said, me and Marva, I want to come to where y'all are.
Oh, we can't wait.
I want to move around. I want to move around so I can spread my message.
Yeah, we have a whole plan for that. We just gonna pray COVID out of here. So
Right.
you guys, again, Jay Davis is on Facebook. Jay Davis, go follow him. Just click like, y'all. You might see something you like. So he's on Instagram, Facebook, and then he has his website and he has emails that you can contact him. Anybody, you guys, go out and support Jay. Miss Siobhan.
I am, wow, Siobhan Robles. How can you find me? So you can actually find me on my website, SiobhanRobles.com. All of everything that I do is linked to that. So that's probably the easiest thing to get to that way. Like I said, I'm a financial literacy consultant. So anything that has to do with financial literacy, credit restoration, any of that information, you can also find me there. Definitely, if you are looking to get your credit restored, then definitely say Black is, and I will actually give you half off of your activation fee to get started to restoring your credit and getting it where it needs to be. I believe in legacy and generational wealth. So I know for a lot of people, not everybody wants to be or can be an entrepreneur or business owner, but we definitely all need to become investors, because investors is what creates assets, and assets is what gives us that lifestyle and creates that legacy. So definitely do that. But then also, like I said, I have an event management company. I have a MMA fight that's actually coming up next month. So like I said, if you've never been to any type of sporting event of that nature, please, please, please reach out to me. We have sponsorships. If you're a business and you want to have your business in front of athletes and just, whatever the case is, I do that as well. So please reach out to me for that. And I'm also a certified mindset coach and a meditation guide. So anything that has to do with mindset, anything that has to do with getting you to the next level, strategic planning, I definitely help with that. I know COVID knocked out our very first wellness retreat. I know someone else on here mentioned that they do that too. And I was super excited because I know we had one also. We were going to Puerto Rico. I was like, thank you, COVID. We will be kicking it here in the States for now. But definitely just follow me on Instagram at Siobhan Empowers. Everything that I do, everything that I have coming up, I'm always posting that on Instagram as well. But like I said, if you didn't get my website the first time, it's just SiobhanRobles.com. There's a lot, so I don't want to take up time to say all the stuff that I do, but definitely when you click on that, it'll give you all the different things that I do. If you found me through this webinar, please say Black is, and I will give you a great discount on every service that I have that is available. I will definitely make sure to pay it forward and do that.
So sweet. And so Siobhan, if if they are you on Facebook, how can they find you on Facebook? A lot of people do
I
Facebook.
am. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting about Facebook.
Okay.
So Facebook is just my name, Siobhan Robles. It's just under that. So yeah, definitely do that. Oh, and if you're in Bartlesville, I'm gonna plug my brother for a second.
Yes.
But if you're in Bartlesville and you love donuts and cinnamon rolls as much as me, go check out Grayson's Donut Hole. Eat some for me, because he ain't trying to ship them all the way to Florida, and it's okay. I'm not bitter about that at all.
He is in Black Is Magazine. You can find him there too. Okay.
Yes.
That was sweet. All right, Miss Crystal.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm going to just do two because it's going to I got contact information for everything. So, but for WOW, I'll start with that one. That is the nonprofit group. You can reach us on Facebook at WOW Network. That's the group. If you're a woman, you can join that group. There's lots of women in there, over 900 women that are sharing and giving tips and sharing their businesses. And so it's a lot going on in that group. Then we have our actual WOW organization page. So if you go on Facebook and look for WHOW organization, both of them are WHOW, which stands for Women Helping Other Women Network. And it's the pink, blue, and purple butterfly, because there are several groups out there that say WOW, but we're the pink, blue, and purple butterfly. As far as my business, you can reach me at www.bossencounters.net.
You said Boss Encounters?
Yes, BOSS and encounters .net. And that is where you can reach me if you're looking to strategize about your business or anything like that. We also have a Facebook page, Boss Encounters. And instead of at the end, instead of it being TERS, it's TERZ.
Okay.
So it's Boss Encounters with a Z.
So is that the name for your website too? It's all at the
no.
end?
Just for Facebook, might be my own name.
Just for
and
Facebook.
they're not even using it or posting. I just need to get it back from them. Anywho's, so a couple of events coming up this week. We have Defining Your Target Market, which is put on by TOSA Score. And you can go to tosa.score.org and go to upcoming events. And it's called Defining Your Target Market. So if you're trying to figure out who are the people that you should be reaching out to, because like I discovered, it may not be your friends. You have to look outside of your circle and define who your target market is. So if you need help with that, this is an event definitely want to be at. Then is the Empower Hour, is next Saturday, January 9th. And every second Saturday, WOW puts on an event. And we have some amazing events going on in 2021. But this first one is the Empower Hour. It is starting the year with a prayer plan. And we have some dynamic speakers. Each one is all leaders of an organization. And of course, I am not opposed to people calling me. So please call me to set up a meeting. And my phone number is 918-955-0251. I look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Wow. WHOW. Thank you, Crystal.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right, Tanisha. You're on. You need to unmute yourself. It's okay.
Okay. I have a Facebook page. It's Testimonial Inc. And the Inc is INK LLC. Our website, our e-commerce store is www.testincstore.com. We also have an Instagram page. It's Testimonial Inc. And if you mention Black Is for this whole month, I'll give you 10% off your first order if you order from our e-commerce store. I also have a Girls Talk page. Now, Girls Talk, due to COVID, is kind of at a halt. So there's some new things we need to take care of. But it's Girls Talk GIRLZTALK.us. And we also have a Instagram page as well. You can go there. Normally there I put different inspirational quotes and things like that just to keep people motivated and inspired. If you go to our Testimonial Inc. page, there's information on how to reach me as far as our Facebook page, as well as our Instagram page, and my direct number to contact me as well.
That's amazing, Tanisha. I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Everybody.
You as well.
All right, Corey.
I'm Corey. You can reach me on Facebook, Corey Rogers. Also, I'm on Instagram as Flatville, FLAPVILLE on Instagram.
Okay.
I sell eyelashes, different styles. Reach me on Facebook and IG. Also, I move unwanted stuff in the yard, washers, dryers, beds, couches. I also do that.
Okay.
If anybody who needs that done. And also if you're like an ex-con also, and if you're on Facebook or whatever, you can reach out to me if you're kind of confused or don't know which way to turn or whatever it may be, because that happens. A lot of us do a lot of time and get out and don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
They know they got to get a job, but I mean, if you need help with that, sometimes I know where jobs is. I can point you in the right direction.
That's good.
Or if you're just trying to figure out what you want to do, you figure out how to get a tax ID, file taxes, or just a lot of stuff ex-cons don't know how to do. So if you need any of that stuff, where to get your LLC and all that, just holler at me. Go to, like I said, Corey Rogers on Facebook or Flatville, FLAP. Huh?
Your email?
My email is Corey FXCM@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And also email me too. So.
Okay, that's very good. Really good, you guys. I'm excited. So I hope you guys everybody was able to get you guys' website, email, and contact information. So for Black Is, yes.
Corey, what was your Instagram?
FLAP, Flap, VILLE, Flatville.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Got it?
All right, sir.
Also, I forgot to give my special.
Oh.
So for anyone that uses the Black Is code, you can get a website, 5-page WordPress website with hosting, domain, and email for the first year by using the Black Is code for $250. So if anybody is looking for that, a basic website that does not include e-commerce,
right,
but it does include, you can set up e-commerce when you're ready on that website. So
that's amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So you guys remember, if you need any of their services, if you use the Black Is code, you'll get it at a discounted rate. That's really a good deal for the website. I know if a lot of people struggle with their website, I just put something out there about a website. So I might be calling you, Crystal.
I know.
I need help. So, and I think it's worth it. It'll be beautiful. So thank you for that. So any other questions before I go into Black Is? Okay. So Black Is magazine, the first edition went out in November. I'm super excited about that. Yay. Thank you. I'm so excited about that. So it went out. Actually, Jay was a part of that journey with me on that first one. You'll find his article and his entire story in that magazine. You guys, there are some amazing stories in there. So you want to grab that. You can get your magazine and you can find other items at www.phasestheNextLevel.weebly.com. I'm still trying to build that up. I'm telling you, I didn't know what I was doing, but it's there and you can actually purchase your magazine there. You can also get your subscription for the entire year for just $20 total plus shipping, or you can get single copies for $7.99. It's also available across the US and abroad online. so you can get it online as well. So if you don't want the hard copy, you can also subscribe for an online copy for every time it drops in the year. Also, I am an author. My daughter and I wrote a book, Be Yourself. It's about bullying. I think that bullying has to be talked about, especially in the schools and with our children. It's very real. And so we want to keep that in the forefront. And it's a really good book. She did really good. So Be Yourself can be found at www.marvabooks.bigcartel.com. I want to put in a plug for my publisher, Joseph's Ministry. She is amazing. So if you are wanting to write a book and looking to write a book, you want to reach out to Joseph Ministry, just contact me. I'll tell you how you can do that. Other than that, the next edition magazine will be coming out in January. I'm looking forward to that. I am a public speaker. Right now, I'm not looking into any of that right now because of COVID. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is that we do $40. We do commercials for businesses during all of our lives and everything that I load to YouTube. We do it for $40 for the entire year. And so anytime we go live, anytime we load a video, even if it's an interview, in between those interviews, we've started doing that. If you pay $40, it's for the entire year every time we go live or do that. And that's putting your business out there. On one of my YouTube pages, which is Phases Next Level, I have 8,000 viewers there. And then on the next one, I was just now building that up. And so it's _magazine. So that's both YouTube pages. Also doing advertising for the magazines. If you want to know about that, you can contact me. My email is blackisnation1ptnl@gmail.com. I think that's it, you guys. We do have swag on the websites. We sell sweatshirts as well, the sweatpants, t-shirts, mugs, all of that. So you guys, that's what we're doing. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to get out of here. You guys, I appreciate you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge and your experience to everyone. Like I said, I will be uploading this to YouTube. You can find it at Phases Next Level and _magazine on YouTube. I just want to get it pushed out there. So you'll see that. Thank you for sharing with people, because there's people that want to know and just don't know how to ask. Jay, did you have something before we get out?
No, I was just saying thank you also for allowing us to get on the platform and spread some knowledge.
Absolutely, you guys. I appreciate you guys and everybody out there that's paying attention. Respect yourself, respect others, tap into your higher power, and follow God's direction in everything that you do. Thank you, you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you,
All right,
y'all.
Maria.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
You too,
You do the
Mom.
same.
Thank you.
I don't know how to end.
I'll get it out.